Most men crave peaceful, happy relationships. And sometimes they actually think they're in one until suddenly their wife blindsides them with, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. Or maybe she suddenly brings up the D word totally out of the blue. Leave me a comment and let me know if you think things were fine and all of a sudden you were blindsided by her saying she's not in love with you anymore, or maybe worse, maybe she just out of the blue wants to end the relationship. Leave me a comment and let me know if you're going through this right now. But have you ever wondered why some relationships just really seem effortless? Well, that's because one of two things is happening. One, they either naturally both show love in the way the other naturally needs to receive it, or two, they both work really hard at showing love in the way the other person needs to receive it. And that's really the only difference in a relationship that looks effortless and easy versus what you're going through right now. You can have an effortless relationship too, one that flourishes. You just have to learn how. And ironically, to rebuild into an effortless relationship takes a lot of effort. And you may be thinking, Mindy, it's too late. I don't have time. She doesn't love me anymore. She wants a divorce. Time is not on my side. I need a quick fix. I need the magic words to say to turn this around right now. Leave me a comment and let me know, are those thoughts going through your mind right now? Because those mindsets are where most men are getting stuck. Because they're focused on how to change the outcome. They're not focused on the process. They're not focused on why the relationship broke down and their own growth, which is learning their love communication style and, more importantly, what they needed to be fulfilled in the relationship. I've said this in a lot of other videos. A lot of times when you're not being emotionally fulfilled, you don't really realize that's what's happening, and it shows up in other ways that end up affecting her. And so that's why a quick fix in this situation is not going to truly mend the relationship, because it's a process to go through and there's a lot of effort to put in to be able to get your relationship to feel effortless. Quick fixes are not long lasting. That's why changes are temporarily usually and not sustainable. It's not about changing yourself. It's about resetting your perception on love, how it's viewed, how it's received, how it's shown, and resetting your love communication style so it matches your partner on a day-to-day basis. And love communication is how you receive love, how you show love, how safe you feel expressing yourself when you do have an issue or challenge. It's how you react when you're feeling unloved. It's how you react when she shows you love in a way that doesn't necessarily fill your own emotional needs. It's how you react when she has an issue that's not filling her emotional needs. Love communication style is all of these things intertwined into one. So it's not just emotional safety. It's not just emotional leadership. It's not just about controlling reactions and behaviors. It really stems from understanding what you personally need to be fulfilled and what your partner personally needs to be fulfilled and what you each do naturally to show the other person love. Because if what you're doing naturally is not automatically filling your partner, you're gonna have a mismatch, and that's why relationships are breaking down. So then what happens when our partner comes to us with an issue or a challenge? Unconsciously, we feel that we're being attacked. Even though that's not what your partner is meaning to do, that's unconsciously what's happening inside of you. You're feeling attacked. It makes you feel that you're not good enough, or maybe the things that you do are not actually being appreciated. But really, all that's happening is your partner is needing to be loved in a way that's not natural for you. And the things that are natural for you to do are not resonating with them. So because no one's aware of this, what happens then is your nervous system starts to ramp up when your partner comes to you and tries to talk to you about a problem. You detect a threat and you react in an unhealthy way. Some men get angry, some get defensive, some attack back, some shut down. every one of us is different in how our nervous system reacts to a perceived threat. So to get to a point where you can have an effortless relationship and you can rebuild into one that flourishes, you're going to have to be able to recognize a few things. One, her having issues or challenges is not a threat to you, to your identity, or to the relationship. So there's really no need to react like there is. And I would say that this single-handedly is the biggest struggle that most guys are facing right now, because fully shifting that circular thinking that you're trapped in right now in those reactions takes time. It takes time, and it's a process to be able to identify that you're feeling unloved, you're feeling attacked. It's all stemming from feeling not good enough and unworthy, and all those feelings that you're feeling unconsciously. That's what it's stemming from. So it takes time to recognize that's what's happening inside of you. And that's why I say it's a process, because fully shifting the circular thinking and those patterns that you've become accustomed to takes awareness, it takes effort, and it takes time and patience with yourself. It also takes consistency. So that's the very first thing you're going to want to do, is recognize that the feelings she's having, the challenges, the issues, or the way she reacts, or the things that she does or doesn't do is not a direct threat to you, the relationship, or your identity. The second thing you want to do is you want to really recognize your own emotional needs and how you're reacting when those needs are going unmet. Here's an example. Let's say you get home from work, and the second your partner sees you, she's just like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. These dishes, the kids, I need help with the house. Please drop what you're doing and just get the dishes done. And I'm going to start dinner, and I'm going to clean up the puke that's in the bathroom. And so you do that, and I'm going to do this, and let's get going. So let's say that's the first thing your partner says to you when you get home after you haven't seen her for 10 hours. Now, if you're a person who receives love through affectionate contact or words of encouragement and praise, or even time, you can start to feel emotionally unfulfilled. And you might think to yourself, wow, like I didn't even get a hug. I didn't even get a, hey, sweetie, it's great to see you. How was your day? I didn't even get 5 minutes before she started complaining about what's going on and forcing me and making me feel that if I don't help her, all hell's going to break out. So if you can understand your own emotional needs when she's in an emotional reality that might be suffocating for her and she's feeling overwhelmed and she's not perhaps offering you the emotional need that's your requirement, if you can take a couple steps back on that and recognize, hey, her not filling me up has nothing to do with me right now. She's just having an emotional reality that's overwhelmed and overloaded, and I'm going to not let it affect me, and I'm not going to bury that. Because what guys tend to do is guys bury their own emotional needs, and it might not always come out in the moment. Sometimes it will. Sometimes you might actually give her some conflict and say, hey, you didn't even say hi to me. You didn't spend 5 minutes with me. Sometimes that happens. But in a lot of other cases, what you actually do is you bury it and it shows up later. So that's why if you can really acknowledge it and really start to understand her emotional reality is not an attack on her loving you or her not trying to fill you up, that's really going to help you be able to get to a point where you can rebuild into a more effortless relationship. Because really, in a lot of relationships, it's just awareness. If we can be aware of our reactions and why we are reacting specific ways, we can control it. And that's the main reason relationships are breaking down, is because we don't have awareness of why. And the why is we're feeling unloved. It all stems from someone is feeling unloved in the way they need to feel it. So keep that in mind. You always want to go all the way back to the beginning. Someone is feeling unloved. So when you're feeling a certain way or she's feeling a certain way and your instinct is to attack, shut down, get angry, be defensive, take a couple seconds and say, wait a minute. They're just feeling unloved, or I'm just feeling unloved. And ask yourself, do I really need to feel unloved? Is the way this person is reacting really because they don't love me? Or am I just taking it that way for whatever reason? Which It's hard sometimes not to take it that way, especially if you are words of encouragement praise. I mean, your partner might just make a joke on you at the wrong moment and suddenly you're feeling attacked. So it's just really important to really be in control of your emotions and understand where it's coming from. So the third thing you want to recognize is you want to really be able to recognize each of the way you communicate love on both ends. You're going to want to recognize what fills her up. What is her emotional need to feel very happy and fulfilled in the relationship? What does she do to show you love? What is she doing that you know is an act of love that maybe resonates with you, maybe it doesn't? And then also vice versa. What do you need from her? What do you do for her? And is it matched up? And relationships end and struggle and are hard because oftentimes we're not matched in the way we offer love to the other person. It's not what they naturally need in order to feel emotionally fulfilled. So you end up missing the mark on both of you. And then that leads to unhealthy reactions and unhealthy patterns that start to really break down the relationship and really make it to a point where now you don't feel safe. There's no emotional leadership. It's just everyone's always mad and you're caught in this endless loop because neither of you know how to get out of it. So to create an effortless relationship, you've got to be aware of your own emotional needs. You've got to be aware of what your partner does naturally to show you love. You've got to be aware of how you react when you're not feeling loved. You have to be aware of how your partner reacts when she's not feeling loved. And if you can be aware of all of that, then you can actually shift the way that you're reacting and you can start to respond instead. And that's how you start to create an effortless relationship. Even if she says it's over or wants a divorce, those are the steps to take to start rebuilding into an effortless relationship. And if you're really trying to rebuild your relationship right now, I definitely recommend registering for my free masterclass, the 5-step system to resetting your love communication style to rebuild your relationship. I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video and in the comments for you to check out. I hope this video was helpful, guys. If so, definitely hit it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like it. And as always, let's really focus on staying happy, staying healthy, and falling back in love.